Every year on May the 4th, citizens gather in celebration of Jedi, rebels, and the power of the Force. They wear costumes, have parties, and share greetings and pictures on their social networks. They say it's fun, but what aren't they telling you about May the 4th? They say that the rebels are heroes, looking to restore freedom to the galaxy. Fact, the Jedi and rebels are traitors to the Empire, and so are all those who celebrate May the 4th. They say, "May the 4th be with you," in reference to an old greeting about the Force. Fact, the Force is used for mind control, levitation of deadly weapons, and haunting the living after death. Is that really something to celebrate? They dress in honor of Jedi and rebel fighters. Fact, wearing such attire is a punishable crime under the Emperor's Subversive Apparel Act. May the 4th is a dangerous and immoral holiday. This year, say yes to the Empire, say no to Jedi, say no to rebels, and say no to May the 4th. Paid for by the Emperor's Committee to Destroy May the 4th.
May the 4th be with you. And what are we going to talk about today?
Today, on Keepin the Geek Bros, May the 4th be with you special. We've got another Star Wars series is coming to Disney Plus. The Mandalorian Season 2 prediction. The Rise of Skywalker is coming to Disney Plus. Reading is fundamental. Star Wars Ahsoka novel retcon. That is why we must celebrate Revenge of the Fifth. New Star Wars movie to be written by directed by Taika Waititi. Question of the day: is it really the Skywalker Saga after all? Star Wars: The Clone Wars Season 7 review, the final arc. Episodes 9 through 12. All this and more in this week's episode of Keepin' the Geek Bros, a family podcast. Allegedly. Stay tuned.
In a world where geeking out never looked so good, two incredibly sexy men will rise for your auditory pleasure. Here's your hosts, Keeping Up with the Geek Bros.
Yes. Keeping the Geek Bros podcast. I'm your host, Vibe. With me, my fellow co-hosts,
Darth Flex,
Garbanzo,
and Roz.
Yes, before we get to today's topics, Darth Flex, tell these fine connoisseurs of the light and the dark side how to find us on social media.
absolutely, rebel scum. Now listen up. You guys can check us out on Instagram and Twitter at Geek Bros with a 0. That's GEEKBR0S. You can also check us out on Facebook.com/Geek Bros with a 0. Again, GEEKBR0S. And if you want to send us some cool emails, maybe some questions, maybe some content, I don't know, we are still giving stuff away. I mean, who doesn't want free shit? So email us.
That is true. We do have a lot of free stuff
We
to
have
give
a
away.
lot of shit to give away.
I'm talking about it. I'm just looking at them right now. They're all underneath the desk here.
If you just send us an email saying, "Hey, what's up?" we'll probably give you free shit.
Pretty much.
That's how much
Say what
shit
do
we have to
you
give away.
want?
Yeah, but okay.
We'll make our own very own geek crate out of it and send it to you.
Yep. And if you want to check out this beautiful concoction of Egyptian cinnamon, milk chocolate, café con leche, and cafecito with a little Moroccan twist, you can check us out on youtube.com/VibeRep Studios. That's VIBEREVSTUDIOS. Hold the STD.
Hold the STD. All right. So, gents, before we get to our Star Wars special, anything to report? Garbanzo.
Actually, I do have something to report. So, as you guys all well know, today is
twins, Luke and Leia.
Yep, it's twins. I knew it.
No, listen. Listen. All joking aside, when we first found out that we were pregnant, the first conversation we had was, if we do have twins, what are we going to do? And we both agreed, Luke and Leia. But that's not the case. As today
Allegedly,
is May the 4th,
there's still plenty of time for it to divide.
Yeah. I mean, because we're halfway through. It's possible that it's okay.
Listen. The Force works in mysterious ways.
That it does.
All right. Well, so tomorrow, it being Revenge of the Sith, it also happens to be Cinco de Mayo and my wedding anniversary. It also happens to be. Yes.
Yeah, bro, you don't remember?
I didn't go to the wedding.
No.
Yeah, a lot of
we were
people didn't. It was
last-minutely kicked out.
yeah, it wasn't one of the. But don't worry, the big party will come later on. But anyways, so
Allegedly.
that being said, tomorrow, my 1 year wedding anniversary, and also we will be announcing. Actually, not announcing. We're gonna find out for ourselves for the first time if we're having a boy or a girl. We're actually doing a gender
Awesome.
reveal tomorrow.
Quick question.
Okay.
Quick question. What do you want?
My biggest thing, my number one, is I want a healthy baby, obviously. So, boy or girl, I'll be very happy. I would love to have a boy for many reasons, and I would love to have a girl for many reasons. No one loves you as much as your daughter, right?
Very true.
But at the same time, it's there's a lot of bonding opportunities to come with your son. So either way, I'll be extremely happy. I think I'll have ask me again in a year or two when we're talking about possibly having a kid. Then that's when I'm gonna be kind of leaning more one way or the other.
Are you running for office?
No, this is like a legit answer that I had to tell everybody.
Because that answer was so roundabout. It's like you didn't even answer the question.
Let me ask differently.
I don't
Vote for Garbanzo. I got you.
Listen, you have a gun to your nutsack right now. You probably can say answer, boy or girl. Just pick one. Hurry up.
You have to have a
Gun to your fucking nuts, bro. They're gonna kill you and everybody in your house right now. Boy or girl? Answer.
Did he freeze?
There we go. Boom. Perfect.
What did he say? Did he answer?
Yeah,
Yes,
I said girl.
Girl?
Please.
Fantastic.
This
So
pleases
when,
me. Thank you.
so when you have a son, I get to replay this back on his birthday.
Exactly. You
Yeah.
just jinxed it.
Yeah, that's not.
She'll be like, "Oh, so you never wanted me, father?
You never wanted it.
Well,
Are
no,
you saying
because
I'm
we
a
have to play-
mistake?"
I mean, it's in all honesty, it's being our first. I'm just happy to have this experience. I'm just
Human.
happy.
Just say human.
I'm
You want it to be
I'm
human.
ecstatic. Yes, I'm gonna stop assuming his gender.
That is true. You got to be
There you go.
the father
I'll
you
be
should.
very PC about this. But so we're gonna be doing a big gender reveal with friends and family on Zoom. We're gonna continue doing the social distancing. We're actually gonna be going to my mother's house and be in the backyard while they stay on the other side and record for us, and it's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I have a feeling that I'm probably gonna end up with happy tears streaming down my face.
All right,
So-
that's good. We're looking.
So
forward
that's
to
all
that.
I got to announce. Which,
I will absolutely be
small
zooming.
little-
I'll be zooming from right outside Garbanzo's door. So just so you guys know, if you want to break social distancing and come meet me right outside of Garbanzo's door, we'll sit out there and we'll zoom together. And when it's time, we'll just bang on the door as a celebration. Flex, anything to report?
Yes. I saw Super 8. It's a pretty good movie, man.
The J.J. Abrams movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't
Yeah, that
seen
was
it
cute.
yet.
That was proto Stranger Things.
Yeah.
That was the first prototype.
I forgot why I never saw it, but it was pretty good.
I liked it. I liked it a lot. I thought it was great. It had a little. It was his attempt at Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
And
it was the best Steven Spielberg movie he never directed.
Exactly. I
That's
think it was great. I think it was great. But yeah.
And
Good.
I also went back into a Halo wormhole and started playing all the DLC that they know about. And I'm redoing the remastered campaigns.
That is awesome. I
Awesome.
don't know what that
Yes.
means, but that's awesome. Roz, anything to report?
Man, speaking of movies, I just saw the day before, this movie called The Lighthouse. Have you guys heard of it?
I've heard of it. I heard the with Robert Pattinson and the other guy.
What a motherfucking mind fuck of a movie.
Is it?
I sincerely want all of you to watch it and tell me. We don't even need to talk about it on the podcast if you don't want to.
Oh no, we can.
But
We should.
I feel that you need to experience this movie because it's kind of like I caught one of those emails from back in the 90s where it's like, if you don't pass this on to 10 people, you're going to die.
Right.
That's kind of how I feel about this. I need other people to experience this movie. I can't be the only one.
Have you seen Moon Did you see?
Oh
Moon?
yeah. Oh man, Moon
Now-
was actually a really good movie.
Exactly, and I mean, I could be way off, but
Yeah.
when I heard about Lighthouse, it made me think of Moon and how Moon was kind of like that, but it probably
Kind of a claustrophobic.
Exactly.
movie.
So
Okay,
it's
so quick
similar in that
question.
way. So
Okay.
Having seen Lighthouse, because everyone said that with Robert Pattinson becoming the new Batman, that look at Lighthouse to kind of see that he can handle the role. Do you, after seeing Lighthouse, do you feel that way?
For sure.
That is a
No, I
good
mean,
question.
handling the role regardless. It
Very
was
good question.
It was two actors, like absolutely at the top of their craft. You know, my personal feelings, you know, towards the movie notwithstanding, their performances were stellar. I really recommend it, if only so you can see Willem Dafoe just like chewing scenery left and right. The guy just, I mean,
He has that.
he has a reputation for a reason.
Cool. I'm gonna check it out. I've been curious. I just need an excuse to watch it. So
It's on Amazon Prime, and you might be.
even better.
That was my next question. What streaming service can we find
Yeah,
on?
it was on Amazon Prime, so watch it there.
It's all access.
But other than that, I've been playing like a lot of Yakuza 0. That game is ridiculous. So, but yeah, that's about it.
Well, since we all have some kind of video game announcement, I finally beat the first story or the first
Hey,
of
ending A.
A. I'm on B now, where I'm playing 9S, and
Yeah.
it's the same story just from his perspective, and I think it's kind of cool. So yeah, the game is so friggin' hard.
Did you finally learn how to use your mods?
Yes and no. I did. You told me to get on YouTube and to look up tutorials, and I did. But it's so complicated. I just don't like it. I don't like it. I'm having a hard time using my pods move set, like the L1. It won't work ever, or sometimes. I don't know what
Are
I'm
you
doing
using the
wrong.
same pod, or are you switching pods? There's
No,
other
you
pods that
just-
are better.
Well, yeah, I have two, but it's not working well for some reason. I don't know if it's just a button, but it's a new controller. So I've been talking with the controller to see why, when I press the button, it won't use the laser or the scanner. It's really weird. So, but other than that, I'm proud to say that I've beaten side A.
Congratulations.
And it was interesting. The game, I still don't know anything about it. Nothing was told. I assume, though, Roz, that by playing it over and over again, it reveals the bigger narrative, because
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
What game is this again?
near
Automata.
Automata become as gods. Oh my god! And they had to become
it
as
on Game
gods
Pass?
song. Huh?
Is it on Game Pass?
Yes,
Yes.
it is. That's what I'm
I'm
playing.
gonna get it. Okay.
The game is so sick. It's ridiculous. But
Text me the game later on.
I will. I'll send you stuff. But yeah, I did. So now I'm playing. I'm back and reinvigorated. I'm enjoying 9S's side arc. It's blasting through some stuff, which I like, which is great.
Yeah, like it just jumps through a couple story elements.
Exactly. So or does it really fast. So it's pretty good. So I'm looking forward to actually beating that, or beating a few of these things, so I can give a good review. But as of right now, I still don't understand the story in the latest bit. The gameplay is just really that much fun, and the characters is fun, the voice acting is fun, and the music is stellar.
It's really
The
good.
Become as Gods theme.
It's a jam.
I was like,
The shit slaps.
It's like
Better than Coin for a Witcher?
No.
Nothing's better than that. Are you serious? That's like, no.
It's like, why would you even ask that?
I don't know.
Is there like a
Don't hate
jet
yourself.
button on this?
Christ. Huh? I got.
Oh shit! You know what? Actually, one last game I'll talk about that I've been playing. Gears Tactics. That shit's great.
Oh my god!
Gears of War Tactics on
love
PC.
Can you stream that?
Yeah,
Because I don't have a PC, but I really want to see what it's like, and I read the
sure. Yeah, it's Did you guys ever play XCOM?
Absolutely, bro. I've played that game through and through. Lost
It
so
is.
many
This
hours of
is
sleep.
genuinely like somebody sat down and said, "Shit, XCOM is a really good fucking game. Let's just make it and make it in the Gears of War universe." And it worked out perfectly. It really works.
All right.
Is it as bloody as the Gears of War, or is it like XCOM where you don't see blood and stuff?
Dude, you chainsaw people in half.
Fuck yeah. Okay, good. Thank you.
Wow. And so my last thing to report, I finally used the second camera that I got from eBay, and it works. I used a project that Darflex is having me work on with him as a guinea pig, as a test run. And I told Flex, I'm setting the camera up, and I'm like, Flex, I haven't even used this camera before, so we'll see what happens. But it's great. The footage came out great, and I'm looking forward to finishing that up. That's a side thing. That's not something you're probably going to see posted on YouTube at all, but it is this little side thing for a workout thing. So look forward to that. I'm gonna skip what's going on with the Geek Bros. Last week, of course, we missed our recording session. That's why you're gonna get 2 episodes this week. And I have not attempted a 4th draft of the Witcher yet. I just haven't had any time. But I will tell you guys that it's such a shame how I'm having to butcher this 2-part series, because again, both episodes got hit by a copyright strike. Both of them were taken down. So for 2 times now. And the 3rd edit, I'm still working on. So I'll let you guys know when it goes up. It's never too late for The Witcher. The Witcher's life. Oh, and I am watching Game of Thrones. 10 years too late. So and I will actually give a review on that once I'm done. It's God bless. What's her name? Oh my God.
Khaleesi?
Yes, but what's her real name?
Daenerys? Targaryen?
No, what's her real name? The actress' name.
Fucking.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
I lost it. It's good, but God bless her. God bless every ounce of her. And with that being said, if this is your first time listening to our broadcast, then please take a moment to subscribe and leave a review on your favorite podcasting app. If you're watching Emilia Clarke, God bless Emilia Clarke. Everything about her. Oh my God, she is beautiful. You understand me? Beautiful.
Yeah.
If you're watching us, then don't forget to subscribe, comment, and share. YouTube has recently changed its algorithm. It's favoring corporate channels. Blah 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 blah. Please just share, follow, show us some love, comments, good stuff. Without further ado, may the 4th be with you. Special starts now. We're jumping right into anime and animation invasion. Star Wars: The Clone Wars, Season 7, the final arc.
Yep.
Episodes 9 through 12. I'm gonna assume that we have all watched everything, please, gentlemen.
Yes.
We've completed it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before we get into the review, Roz.
What's up?
Spoiler alert.
All spoilers. Roz. Now,
Spoiler cast.
now the last time we spoke, you hadn't seen this arc, and
Sure.
you were feeling what I was feeling with the Ahsoka little mini filler episodes. Did this final arc redeem Season 7 in your eyes?
Okay, so the last 4 episodes, did it redeem the entirety of the season? No, because the season sucked up until the last 4 episodes. So that said, if they would have released just these 4 episodes by itself, I would have been okay with that.
Right.
But almost everything that happened right before these last 4 episodes don't really matter.
Yeah. Well, it's an anthology series, so technically,
of course, nothing really matters. But like you think, you'd think they'd try to tie something to something. So does it redeem the season? I mean, it ends wonderfully, but it started really weakly. Did I enjoy the last 4 episodes? Fuck yeah.
I mean, I think the first 2 episodes were good. The second 2,
you're saying good with an upward inflection, which it's like
because it was good. It was good to look at. It was some good action. It's just that when I compare it to the fact that it was mindless and it didn't make any sense after a while.
And it was also the last season.
Yes.
Of this show that you'd think they'd say, let's pull out all the stops. Let's make this last season matter. Let's make it great. And again, it did. The last 4 episodes.
Yes.
But everything before that, again, I don't think it was. Maybe let me pull back. I don't think it was bad. I just thought it was underwhelming after the wait from season 6 to 7.
The first 4 episodes, I'd say, were underwhelming. The second arc, the middle 4 episodes was disappointing, and it was stellar. It goes back to the whole me saying. It feels like this is the story they wanted to tell. These 4 episodes. We had to get through the last 8 just to get to these 4. For it to really shine. All right, so now the final arcs, gentlemen. We'd go through each episode, but there's no point now. It's all over and done with. Let's talk about it. Let's pick out some good scenes, and then at the very end, we're going to discuss the ending. Knock on wood of it, whether or not it holds up. Let's go with Garbanzo. Garbanzo, 9, 10, 11, 12. The
the final arc, I enjoyed it. watching the Clone Wars give homage to Ahsoka, the way with the painting the helmets, and then watching the same ones trying to kill her. It was kind of weird, but it was still pretty well done. It's just the intensity of it, the situation. It's kind of weird though. You see Ahsoka from the episode 9.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no. Ahsoka from episode 6, 7, 6, 7, 8, right?
Yeah.
With
6,
the
7,
Marquez
8.
sisters. If you
5,
watch
6, 7, 8. Yeah.
Yeah, so you watch her posture. Watch how she stands.
Right.
Watch how she moves. And then watch her in this and then in the last arc, she evolves.
Well,
Yeah,
she's back in her element. She's got her
It's not just that, because even when she was around, even when if you look at the older Stone, she doesn't always have that air of authority, standing up super straight and tall.
Right.
So she always kind of hunched over, kind of slouching. She has that teenager kind of. It's
like a wounded animal.
Yeah, but towards the end of the whole series, at the very end of the last episode, you see her walk away. She has her head down a little bit because of a situation, but her posture is completely different. The way she walks is completely different. She has more authority and a conviction in her step. You see almost like an evolution from child to adult. Like it's kind of weird watching that, because it reminds me at the end she looks a lot more like Fulcrum does in Rebels than
That's
she did
what I was
Ahsoka.
gonna say. Exactly. I was gonna say that in the last 4 episodes, she resembled the Ahsoka from Rebels more so than she resembled the Ahsoka from even the last 4 episodes prior, and most of the Clone Wars. So I agree. I totally agree with that.
So it's cool watching that transition, that moment with Rex and her, where he's like he realizes there's something going on, and tries to give her a chance to escape. The fight between her and Maul, I mean, holy shit, that was fun to watch. And yeah, I mean, overall, I honestly enjoyed it. Do I think they could have done better? You can always improve things one way or another, or add certain things, or take something out. Just having the droids were also a little fun little addition. But I honestly, I was happy with it.
Flex.
Yes.
Let's talk the last 4 episodes.
Well, I really enjoyed them. That was actually, to me, like Ross said earlier, nothing before that really mattered. I did enjoy the Bad Batch episodes. Just as like a like a little palate cleanser and stuff like that. It was fun to watch. Had pretty relatable humor in it, which I enjoyed. But everything between that kind of sucked, and that whole Puerto Rican arc sucked ass as well. But the last 4 episodes, man, I told you guys, as soon as I watched them, I was texting you guys, letting you know how awesome it was, and almost in a linear fashion, every episode after the first 4th episode was my favorite episode. I think my favorite ones are still 11 and 10, but man, it was great. It was great. I don't know if it's called writing, but just the way they did it. Like, for example, the scene when they initiate Order 66. Or they execute Order 66, and you see Rex trying to fight it, and you see tears coming down his eyes when he's looking at Ahsoka at the command bridge. That was good, man. I mean, I've only seen the clones cry 2 other times, but this one you really felt it. It was really good, man. I enjoyed it. It was very well done, in my opinion. Honestly, that's. For the final season, I am glad they did it the way they did it. And I'm only talking about the 4 episodes. It was great. The ending was great. I kind of felt... So the ending, when you see Darth Vader walk up to the Ahsoka Clone Trooper mask, obviously this is already, the time of the Empire. I'm not sure what that meant. What did you guys think that meant? He picked up Ahsoka's lightsaber. I'm sure he recognizes that's Ahsoka's lightsaber. But what did it mean? Looking at the Stormtrooper helmet and seeing Darth Vader's reflection in it as he walks away.
I think he may have thought that Ahsoka had died.
Well, can we just take a moment and see how kind of, I don't know about you guys, how cool it was to see Darth Vader animated in that way? Like, he looked ridiculous.
Great.
and won, and then to have Darth Vader, okay, ignite a blue lightsaber. Like I don't know if they were foreshadowing something with that, but I've never, it's just something I never thought of. Like him picking up a light side lightsaber as Darth Vader and igniting it. Like wow. So that was pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But the ending of, and I want to get to that in a minute. But the way the Clone Wars ended, I have some thoughts about that. So because I don't know if that was the way I would want or I expected the Clone Wars to end, but we'll get to that. So Roz, the last 4 episodes. Now you, my man, again, you were up and you went down.
I really enjoyed it, man. I really enjoyed the last 4 episodes. Flex said, could it have been better? I mean, and like Alfonso said, yeah, anything could be better. I feel like there were some things that were like actually genuinely not great about some of the episodes, like the big fight with Ahsoka and Darth Maul was a rehash of Luke and Vader. I mean, I was waiting for him to say, "I'm actually your father," because he's like, "Join me." I'm like, "Oh, come on!" They're literally replaying that same scene, and we've already had that replayed in this new trilogy, and it's like I'm tired of the same fucking sequence
I
in
think
this.
that sequence was meaningless because Ahsoka and Maul had no connection like that.
They had no history. That's something else I wanted to bring up. Why did they waste an entire episode? And don't get me wrong, I think Darth Maul is a fantastic villain. He's smart, but he's also idiosyncratic, and he has like serious flaws that make him, not a viable ultimate villain, but a really good middling, danger. But to throw who ostensibly is the star of the last season of Clone Wars, which is Ahsoka, up against Darth Maul, who has no history with her.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. It felt completely wasted. Like, I couldn't honestly care less about the conflict between them. What were you saying, Gurbans?
I mean, I don't know. I was just saying, really? I mean, I don't know if I could. I can understand that feeling behind that, but I guess
no.
But
they got a little meta. They got a little meta in it because even Darth Maul said, "Why are you here?"
Yeah, absolutely.
And I thought that was
meta
pretty
means
funny.
that they were self-referential. They were like lamp shading. It's when they say, "Oh, hey, we are aware of what the audience is aware of." But I kind of feel like that does a disservice to the show. It's like, shit, if you're aware of this, fucking write something else.
Exactly. like it doesn't save the story by you throwing it out there. I mean, another example is did you see Flex, you saw Age of Ultron?
Yes.
And then it was Hawkeye was saying, I have a bow and arrow, this doesn't make any sense. Something like that. That's another example of it. So but carry on, please, Roz.
So that little thing was something I had an issue with. Everything around it, the sequence around it, the assault on Mandalore was awesome to watch. It was really entertaining. The fight in the sewers and whatnot. But again, it boils down to the fuck. I don't give a shit about Ahsoka and Darth Maul fighting each other. Like, get off the planet. We know what's gonna happen. Mm-hmm. It obviously feels like they just shoehorned them together so they have a way to write her escape from the clone ship and make it, a situation where you get to see a Darth Vader attacking, the Rebel Alliance on their ship sequence from Rogue One. You see,
but that was
Darth
so
Maul
sick,
just obliterating the clones.
Oh my God.
And they wouldn't have been able to have something like that if it was just Ahsoka on that ship.
Right.
So that's why I absolutely feel they just shoved them in there.
And that being said, it was so much fun to watch Maul just destroy those guys.
Yep.
I mean, they did such a great job of just showing his utter and total brutality. Mm-hmm. It was good. It was fun to watch.
I mean, I'd even say less brutality and more just contempt for them, because he wasn't like going out of his way to kill them in a vicious way. He was just like, you're nothing but obstacles and tools, so I'm going to use you like obstacles.
Pretty
and
much.
Tools. Like, you mean nothing to me.
He severed a few in half with a door.
Yeah, exactly. It was fantastic.
You know, it was also pretty good with Darth Maul. That scene in Mandalore when they're in the throne room and they're about to fight, and the glass breaks and everything. That's just beautifully done as well too.
Yeah. Also, we get to see another situation where the Clone Wars series, and this is now the CGI version, handles the Force so much better than any of the movies, where you see him bring down the engines of this entire ship by himself. These things are massive. You know, you don't get an equivalent of that, you know, in the actual movies. You know, everybody's just like, let me lift this hamburger off the ground, or, you know, let me push this guy, you know, a couple feet to the left.
Yeah, I mean, I think the closest thing to that was The Force Unleashed, which also was.
It's a video game. Yeah. What were you going to say, Garbrandt?
Also, in Rise of the Skywalker, you know, when Rey grabs the ship out of the sky and is able to. That was.
Yeah, but I always forget that Rise of the Skywalker exists. So anyway, like I'm just basically picking at this, you know, last 4 episodes. I don't think there was anything genuinely bad about them. I thought they were really good, but, you know, again, like you said, you could improve anything. And if I had a call in anything, I'd say, you know, something a little more emotionally, you know, some more of an emotional investment between Maul and, you know, Ahsoka before this episode. They should have spent this season kind of building up a reason for them to come together like this. You know, some kind of animosity between them. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. A rivalry, you know, something.
You know?
But it's
we got 8 episodes.
You did. Well, I mean, for me, the last 4 episodes were a breath of fresh air. It reinvigorated my love for Star Wars. It brought back my high that I lost after episode 3, which is going down. And I mean, I've come to the conclusion that the Ahsoka, what is Flex called, the Puerto Rican arc, was done on purpose, because you couldn't go from the Bad Batch to this and appreciate it without getting a low. So I personally think that those 4 episodes, even though it was to establish where Ahsoka's mind was, I think it was done on purpose, because without that, I don't think we would have appreciated the last 4 episodes as much as we did if we weren't so let down the last 4 episodes. That's what I think. I think it was a choice. They I know what they did. That was perfect. Let's give you some character building for Ahsoka, but let's make it as dull and as boring as possible. So when we give you the final 4 episodes, you're like, yeah. So
but I mean, there was some reason for that, though. I mean,
it was for them to be locked up, to escape, and they'd be locked back up again. That was the reason.
Oh boy.
It's pretty much like a Puerto Rican, New York. They get out of jail. Same shit.
A microcosm. But I know, but I loved it. I mean, I loved episode 9. I love how when they opened up, you saw pretty much all the Jedi that are about to be murdered, that have a murder scene in Revenge of the Sith being put into position. That was fantastic. I want to say very quickly. I like the excerpt that they had. They actually had the real audio from Revenge of the Sith, which I thought was good, but I thought it was lazy, because it's clear that the voices that they used aren't the voices of the animated characters.
That's true.
So if you don't know what you're listening to, you'd be like,
who the fuck is this? Yeah.
So I think it was nice, but it was lazy. In my opinion, they could have just easily re-recorded it with the actors. They had the actors. They had them. They recorded new lines for this, but they might as well. But I had a few problems. I did have a few problems with the arc, but when I finished watching it after I got over it, I said, was it too much Maul and too much Ahsoka? That's what I'm thinking. Is that Ahsoka was came back, was part of Star Wars, the Clone Wars, came in Rebels. She's gonna be in the Mandalorian season 2. All right, great. There's gonna be way more. She has a book about her. She has way more stuff coming down the pike. And then Maul, he's back again. He was also in Rebels. He had a cameo in Solo. He would have been more in Solo if more Solos came out. Was it too much? Too much of a good thing is bad. I was just wondering, is this just too much Ahsoka and Maul? Was it necessary for them to be part of the final season, regardless of what the Ahsoka book said? So I'm not sure. I mean, it was great. People loved them, but you keep bringing them back, eventually you're gonna make it. You're just gonna start rolling your eyes, because when I heard that Ahsoka was gonna be in the live action Mandalorian 2, I rolled my eyes. I'm just like, come on. All right, we love her, she's great, but don't beat a dead horse. Eventually you're gonna water down its character. So that's what I was wondering. The fight with Maul, I loved it. It was cool. It was great. It was over the top. But why or when was Ahsoka that powerful to handle such a battle with Maul? Maul, huh?
Oh wait, no.
No.
Go ahead.
No, what I'm saying though is that she's still technically a Padawan learner. Now, it doesn't mean she's inexperienced. And yes, Obi-Wan as a Padawan defeated Maul because of his arrogance or whatever, but she held her own against him really well. Like,
he wasn't trying to kill her.
Do you think though? Maybe
they made a big deal about him trying to turn her?
Yeah, dude, he was not trying to kill her. You were literally just, this guy was testing her to her limits, and she took him to the point, and he was like, oh shit, she actually can hold her own.
Yeah, but when it's clear that he's losing, he would have. What point did he start saying, okay, well now I got to kill this chick to survive?
But
so
he knew that he would never lose. In his eyes, he had those Force visions. He knew that there was something else going on, so he had no fear of death.
So he was holding back because of both wanting to turn her and because he had no fear of death. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, he didn't. He's like, he didn't have to worry about it. He knew he was going to escape one way or the other. His like, the whole thing is, I don't think he ever even believed that he was gonna get killed by her.
I don't know, because she turned him down. She turned him down, and he's like, all right, that's it. That's it. We're over. We're done. We're gonna fight now. So I didn't get that
Vader
feeling.
said it to Luke too, and look what happened there.
Wait, Luke, but he was trying to kill Luke. Trying
to kill Vader.
Huh?
Vader never truly tried to kill.
Vader made it very clear Vader made it very clear that if you don't turn, I'm going to kill you. That's it. If your fate is to die, then so be it. So
killing absolutes are the Sith, my good man.
But
maybe he was just a victim of his own hubris.
Now, and it goes back to this now. Now, Ahsoka survived Order 66. She was on a confined ship, a whole bunch of people, and she held her own. And as I'm watching her straight up murk these guys, which is great. It was an amazing scene. I'm like, why was her reaction so well? But you had a seasoned Jedi shot right in the back, right?
We got rocked by like a handful of them.
Yeah, exactly. Like, she's doing this, which is cool. Don't get me wrong, but again, she's still a Padawan. She hasn't had as much experience as the rest of these, And you're gonna claim that it was because I believe they said the reason why they didn't feel it is because it was like a ripple in the Force, and it for a fraction of a second messed with all the Jedi, and that's why they all were caught. Why didn't Ahsoka get caught like that?
Because she wasn't technically a Jedi. She didn't have that strong connection as the Masters did to the Force. Remember, even Yoda himself, the more powerful you are, the more connected you are to the Force, the more it affects you. She didn't have that strongest connection, so she didn't get the effects.
So she didn't get caught off. She didn't get caught off guard the first time, but she survived how many assaults? How many assaults? Did you see the straight up obstacles that she and Rex had, and they survived all that shit? No, don't get me wrong. I loved watching it.
Again, but thanks to the droids.
To the what?
Rest in peace.
Not by themselves. That wasn't enough.
I do have a this is my opinion on it, or my theory on it. I'm not saying it's right, but yeah, I mean, what I think is, leaving the Jedi Order does that to you. I said that in the past. Maybe now she's actually experiencing hate, fear, loss, and those are emotions that, in my experience, kind of drive you to do things you've never thought you could do. So, couple that with the Force and actually breaking the restriction that the Jedi gave you, it could be possible that you are absolutely capable of a lot more than you thought you were when you had those little fucking goody two-shoe chains on you when you were a Padawan.
Okay, so Ahsoka Unchained.
Yeah, pretty much like the Force.
Okay, I'll take that. I still think her the odds were insurmountable, but
absolutely.
I mean, I just like, wow.
Do you know why it happened?
What? I want to say well played, sir. That was well played. Your
it's
word
called
play
fucking
was
plot armor. That's all.
Of course, but they didn't have to make it that like
No.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean,
They wrote themselves into a corner, man. They
was some
wanted this
shit,
character to survive, and for some reason they threw her on a ship with thousands of dudes. You know,
like I don't know. I just don't know, man. I'm just thinking about like when I'm seeing her straight up murk these guys. I'm just like, why did why did we lose so many Jedi then? Like so many Jedi.
How did Shakti, like one of the most powerful Jedi, get murked while she was meditating on a freaking couch? Like she didn't know. Like
she had 3 deaths. Which one?
Oh yeah, she had 3. You're right.
The best one is the Force Unleashed,
the canon one. The canon one is where she was sitting on a couch smoking a spliff, and Vader walks up behind her and yokes her. And it's like, dude, I think they've established till now that lightsabers are noisy as shit. You're gonna hear a dude walking down the hallway. You know, you hear that shit.
No, but
Maybe he had a silencer on it.
Oh, he had a suppressor. You're right.
Weren't they like going through the temple and shooting people? Like you could have heard, oh no! And you're meditating. Like, is it soundproof? The meditation
It was a good shit.
It was great to see Ahsoka.
She had too much Alderaanian wine.
I think Ahsoka was far too powerful.
Here, why don't you approach it like this? As far as the question, don't look at it as something that was written, but something that actually happened. Like that's why I gave that answer I did. I'm not looking at it as something that somebody wrote to give us a show, but something that actually happened. That's why I was able to come up with an answer like maybe it's the hate and the emotions flowing through her.
Well, I get what you're saying,
so, but other than saying plot armor, I mean, why would you guys think that would she was able to do that?
I don't know. I don't
know. I'm with him. It just doesn't make sense. There are much more powerful Jedi.
More powerful Jedi.
Like, and I mean, like an order of magnitude. Mace Windu got knocked out a window and somehow died. Is all I'm saying.
Oh, so, well, allegedly.
Oh yeah.
George Lucas said that you survived. It's okay. You survived.
Oh, he survived? Oh, okay.
Well, apparently Sam Jackson begged him and said, "Listen, check it out. We've seen Jedi fall from high altitude. We could have survived." And he goes, "All right."
He jumps like 50 stories in this season and makes it.
So, but yeah, that's a bogey. But can we talk about the ending? If it was a flash forward to, I guess I would assume it's several months later because it's now winter, and it just ends with stormtroopers. They all look badass. I was like, "Is that stormtroopers?" And you see a wickedly fucking fantastic animated Darth Vader picking up Ahsoka's lightsaber, looking at it, igniting it, and then walking off. I didn't like that ending for the entire series at all. I don't know. I don't know what I expected, but I didn't expect that.
Okay, so then what would have made it better?
I only literally just watched the episode half an hour before we started recording. I have no idea.
Better question. What didn't you like about it?
No, I just don't for the Clone Wars. This wasn't Star Wars Ahsoka. This is Star Wars Clone Wars. Yeah. That ending was good for the Ahsoka little arc. Yes, perfect. But to wrap up the entire show, I don't know if that's the way to go about it. Just Darth Vader looking at her lightsaber. It kind of recontextualizes the whole series. Like, this has been Ahsoka's series the entire time.
Yeah, it ultimately has.
Right, and I don't like that. I don't know. I didn't like it. It was cool to see, but I didn't like it at all.
Because my understanding, it was that the Clone Wars were about the wars that the clones were involved in,
right?
And that ended when Order 66, the last war, was against the Jedi.
Right.
And technically speaking, that's. I mean,
it worked for us, but not as the last scene of the last season of the Clone Wars. I don't think so. Flex, you chime in on that. What do you think?
Yeah, well, it's not so much that I didn't like it for the ending of the Clone Wars. Just when I saw it, the only thing I felt was just, what? Like, what does this mean? Like, what are you showing? Like, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. But like,
I just didn't like. Okay, I'm assuming he thinks he's dead because in Rebels he says, "So the Padawan lives," right? Some shit like that. Okay, but I got that part. I didn't need to see that from that. I just don't understand I don't know if they're trying to be artistic, kind of like that painting that Garbanzo has in his room with the stormtrooper, and you see like the
Oh God,
actual art
yes.
through his
The
visor.
Reflection series by
Yeah.
Christian Wagner.
So,
Yeah.
Still an amazing artist.
I just didn't. I liked it. It was very, again, seeing Darth Vader was a shit.
It was very. It was
awesome.
symbolic. I just don't know what it was
I
symbolizing.
just didn't understand what it was trying to tell me. So I wish it would have had a more absolute or clear ending, at least
Yes.
from my perspective, so I could have had understood.
I mean, I expected to see, I don't know, maybe a sweeping shot of Jedi corpses. I have no idea. Something more definitive saying, yes, Garbanzo, sir.
I think the reason why you didn't have to see the sweep of Jedi corpses, they've already shown that in Revenge of the Sith.
You're right. Absolutely right.
So they're not going to reshoot
Something.
the same thing. I mean, yeah. The only other thing that I could think of is maybe show a picture of Cal Kalem surviving or escaping or doing something like that.
Yes, that would have been a
that
great.
would have been.
Yeah. Maybe putting.
But they showed us. But they showed us that, or somebody else. But the whole thing is that that would have been great. But I think I wouldn't mind. I mean, the way I think it was remorse. That was
From
a
Vader?
for remorse. Yes.
I don't
That's
know.
a stretch, man. That's a stretch.
No, it's
know.
not.
That's a stretch.
He's
Armstrong
already,
stretch.
That's
no, because listen, they've already shown redemption through him, and he always had affection for Ahsoka as almost like as his ward.
You're not watching the Star Wars show. You're not watching the Star Wars show because they said there was a question. Did Ahsoka meeting with Vader and Rebels bring him back to the light? They said no. They said he's so far gone. Anything that reminded him of his past made him angrier.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I understand that.
So,
That happens over time.
the only person.
This is literally just recently after. That's not very much longer after the
let's say a couple
fall.
months.
Before.
Maybe a couple months.
Okay, so let's say a few months, and
But
he's
still
very
with
angry and
Vader,
reminds him of his past. Okay, so be it. But at the same time, you look there for a moment. He struggled with it. He was kind of like, because even in the Vader comics, okay, because the Vader comics, they're very, very clear on, yes, they make him angry, but he still has those moments where that small voice is in the back of his head, and that's the voice that Luke knows is always there.
He has that pull to the light, right?
But at the same time, and I still think that there was that moment when he saw it, and you see that he ignites it, and he stops for a second. That was a moment of just like, damn. And then that's it. It's over. It's gone. It was a moment of weakness. That's all it was. Nobody noticed it. And move on. That's the way I saw it, and that's why I'm okay with it. That's why I like the ending.
I think when he saw the saber and he ignited it, the only thing that went through his mind is, "Fuck, I gotta kill this motherfucker too." That's the only thing he thought.
I maybe I'm not as cynical as others.
I have to rewatch it because again, I
have rose-colored glasses.
It's still fresh in my mind. But yeah. So let's just overall season 7, allegedly the final season of Star Wars: The Clone Wars. What do we rate it before we move on? Let's say our flex. I don't know. Give it 4 out of 5. Okay. Garbanzo.
I give it a solid 4.5 out of 5.
Okay.
Almost a perfect score.
Mr. Roz, look at his face.
3.5. That first half, man, was disappointing. I think it's unfair to say that how excellent it ended undoes the beginning of the season.
Of course. So
that averages it out. Awesome ending, garbage start, average.
I have 2 questions.
Okay.
Before we end it, when you pull stuff with the Force, does it also pull you? I never thought that's how things worked.
So no, the Force is magic. So
because we saw a Star Killer, manhandle a Star Destroyer.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, wait, does that happen? And secondly, a while ago, I think when we were about mid-season, there was an article, I believe, from StarWars.com or something, or IGN, saying that this season would have some kind of connection or some kind of information for the Mandalorian show. Did you guys see any of that?
No. Unless
Ahsoka's in it.
unless they
Well,
explain
yeah.
how unless they set the stage for how the Mandalorian purge, because I'm pretty sure there's a garrison left on.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what happens. As soon as Order 66, they just started wiping those fools out. Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, but I mean, what would that?
You saw Sabine
also
Wren.
don't see
You
the
saw Sabine
connection.
Wren in the mouth for a second. She
Yeah,
didn't
we
talk.
did.
Yeah, you're right. She was
Bo-Katan can get it.
She's just mute, but she was there. But I was, by the time this arc began, I had given the Clone Wars a 3 stars. But I'm sorry, I got to give a full star just for the last episodes because it made it worthwhile for me. And so it's a 4 out of 5 for me for this season. So guys, we'd love to hear what you have to say about Star Wars: The Clone Wars Season 7. Email us, geekbros@yahoo.com, geekbr0s@yahoo.com. We'd love to hear what you guys thought of Season 7 of The Clone Wars. Talk Star Wars with us because that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
We're
Come
moving on
at me, bro. Come at me.
Yeah. Come at Garbanzo. So reading is fundamental. The Star Wars Ahsoka novel retcon. All right. So what happened to Ahsoka after she left the Jedi Order near the end of the Clone Wars and before she reappeared as the mysterious rebel operative Fulcrum in the Rebels? So, for lack of a better statement, Season 7 of Star Wars: The Clone Wars has kind of retconned a couple of things in the Ahsoka novels. Now, that's my problem, is that they said the books were canon and that they were primary sources. But when they I get that when they told this story in the Ahsoka book, there was no feasible belief that Clone Wars was coming back. They did change some things. They definitely did. And that's
like what, if you don't mind me asking? Because I mean,
I
didn't read. I wish I would have thought about that before. I would have read the Ahsoka books before.
I only know it's because from what I remember, but I don't remember that whole. There was no spaceship battle in it at all. It gave the illusion that she captured Maul on Mandalore, and Order 66 happened, and Maul escaped on Mandalore. That's why he escaped. She didn't free him. There was no choice. She had a choice though between saving Rex and stopping Maul. But in the Clone Wars, it was she let Maul out on purpose so she can save Rex or do a distraction. So that's another retcon. So they actually retconned a good piece. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Ahsoka novel has very little to do with that end. They bring it up only very sparingly. And it seems to be always the plan that they were going to have Ahsoka go after Maul. And that was their excuse for why she wasn't in Revenge of the Sith if she was going to be still alive. So that was always the plan, apparently, even though maybe they had a bigger build-up to it. There was no discussion about how Skywalker was going to be is being groomed for the next apprentice, because if you read the book, she's looking for Skywalker and trying to feel him out, but with no mention of, did he turn? Is he the new apprentice? Is he Darth Vader? None of that was mentioned. So how do you guys feel about the idea that the books are only as canonical as Disney lets them be until what we call primary sources, TV and movies, wipes it out completely, and it makes no sense?
I have a very different recollection of the Ahsoka book than you do then, because I don't really recall anything being retconned. They left things open-ended and maybe changed the rhythm about the battle, but everything else, I mean, why would she? The whole thing is that she didn't know anything. The whole thing is that it literally stops. Her part of the episode stops when she gets on that ship after Rex saves her. That's it. She has no idea of what's going on with Anakin, or that he's turned, or all that stuff.
Correct.
She just automatically assumes that Anakin's dead along with everybody else.
Correct. Right.
So,
but at the same time, what was retconned in these last episodes was how Maul escaped, the battle with Maul, where it occurred, and kind of the ending. I mean, they kind of did, with a shovel and left her thing there to fake their death, but it was retconned. It was not exactly the way it went to the book. It was as it was described in the book. If you need to listen to the it was only like 4 or 5 pages, I believe, that discussed it or something like that.
Okay, but that's 4 or 5 pages, but you're talking about retcon the whole book.
It retconned. No. They retconned the whole book. It retconned her recollection of the Battle of Mandalore. It retconned a part of it. The spirit is still there. The narrative is but it's not. Is as she describes it in the book. Is not what happened in Clone Wars.
Okay.
It's not. at all. It's
No, no, yeah, because I don't. Yeah, I recall it being different.
Yeah.
The final the escape, but I also don't remember her going into extreme detail about it either.
She went into enough detail that the framework was there, that the episodes could have been built around it, unless you're telling me that her memory, she romanticized it a little bit, but literally said, she says she had, here's a big retcon: I had a choice between saving Rex or stopping Maul, because Maul was escaping of his own volition. He escaped because of Order 66. That's how he escaped in the book. In Star Wars, in season 7, episode whatever, she let him out. That's a huge retcon. Right there.
Because she probably didn't want that person to know that she's the cause of it. People lie.
See, that's headcanon though. That's what I'm saying. And that's when we go into headcanon, we can explain anything. We can explain. We could go and explain, make The Last Jedi a better movie by saying, okay, well, you know what, Luke, he went through some shit, and that was his last straw. We don't know what it was, but he went through some shit. He just kind of failed. If you use your headcanon, yeah, but I'm just basically saying that the primary sources, what I'm bringing it up for is the fact that Disney says it's all connected. All the books are connected, all comics are connected, yet it can be, and it does, get retconned in what it called the primary media. For instance, Poe Dameron's backstory is different in the comics than it is in the movies. He was no spice. Yeah. He was no spice runner or whatever in the comics. So they retconned it completely in the movies just for that.
Yeah, he was a daughter. He was a son of a diplomat that ended up being a rebel spy from the very beginning.
Exactly. So
I think the takeaway because we're kind of circular, the conversation right now is
right.
It doesn't matter what a secondary media, Lucasfilm doesn't really care or respect it. Whatever the comic says, whatever a novel says.
Yeah.
If the director of a movie or a TV show wants to change it, they'll change it, and consequences be damned. It doesn't really matter.
No, of course. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm asking. How do you guys feel?
I think it's disappointing.
Because when they got rid of the extended universe for that very reason, to avoid retcons, so everything's connected, everything means something, and apparently no, we're back to the same thing. Yeah.
I still feel that there's the difference between the novel and the story that we saw with Rebels finale is not. It may be slightly different in the storytelling and the way that it happened, and we could justify it many different ways, but it's minute enough where it's not affecting my view on it whatsoever.
No, I agree. In a way.
Well, no, because if they would have changed a whole it's literally you just that's why I asked you how much of this book are we talking about? 4 or 5 pages. Mm-hmm. Now, if you would have told me that it's it's like maybe it's like less than 1%. I mean, if you're talking about 10% of the book or 20% of the book, then they're it's a slippery slope. They probably wanted to make the last couple episodes a little more over the top, and they found that okay, listen, we're gonna end up looking. We're gonna mess up about 4 or 5 pages out of the book, but for the most part, it's gonna be similar enough where most people aren't gonna be like, oh my god, they changed everything. No, they changed a small part of the telling of the story that could be justified through many different ways, or someone lied, or whatever it was, or someone just over romanticized it, like you mentioned.
I'll take it.
It happened. So that's why for me it's not that big of a deal. But because you mentioned that, I'm gonna re-listen to the Ahsoka book just because of that, just to kind of see.
Me too.
Because that I got my mind working. I'm
gonna see if they have it all cut up and put together on YouTube, because I'm pretty sure they probably did that. Where the Ahsoka book, only the stuff about the and the Clone Wars might be there, so I have to go searching, because I know she flashes back to it like whatever. So, but Flex, before we move on, how do you feel about this at all?
I actually never really noticed it, so I don't know. I mean, but I'm used to adaptations when it comes to films and books, so I mean, I'm not surprised, but
books
again, I didn't really notice it, so I can't really say much on it.
All right.
I would have to listen to the book again as well.
All right, so we're going to move on to question of the day. Is it really the Skywalker Saga after all? Now, I just rewatched the Rise of Skywalker. Also, I got that in before we did our podcast, and I actually asked myself the question, was this really the Skywalker Saga, or was it the Palpatine Saga? I came to the conclusion that it was the Palpatine saga, even though he wasn't there all the time. But according to this story, he's always been there manipulating things. He was manipulating things in the prequels. He was manipulating things in the OT. He was apparently retconned into manipulating things into the sequel trilogy. This was Palpatine's rise and fall. That was pretty much that's how I look at it, in my opinion. So, what do you guys think? Is this still the Skywalker Saga after watching all 9 movies, or is it a different theme or a different flex?
It's tough because the saga itself is dependent on the Skywalkers.
Mm-hmm.
Even so, in Clone Wars, what if Ahsoka had let Darth Maul kill Anakin Skywalker?
Right.
You know, so I think it is the.
Well, I don't know. Do you think if Maul killed Skywalker that the Empire would never have happened?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Because by that time, even before, I mean, well, no, because okay.
Because think of it this way: who stopped the Mace Windu at the last minute?
But isn't that been proven that was just a
on purpose?
Stop it. But hasn't it been proven that he was just messing with him? He still had power. He wasn't really. He threw the fight in front of Anakin to get Anakin to react.
To get Anakin to react, yeah.
So if Anakin wasn't there, he would have probably beaten or blasted him or whatever. He escaped. Really?
Wait. Do you think? It's a real question, Garbanzo. Do you think that the Palpatine was like actually weak in that moment?
No, I think that it was in the sense.
No. How dare you?
But I still think that if Anakin would not been involved with, they would have noticed I think they would have attacked Palpatine sooner and with a different force, and I think that it may have been a different outcome, because the fact of the matter is that Yoda comes back later on to fight him, and I mean honestly, we saw how he went toe to toe with Yoda, and Yoda's supposed to be one of the best out there, but the whole thing is we never actually got a chance to really see 100% of what he's capable of. In Revenge of the Sith, we did see a big chunk of it, but I think there's still more out there. That being said, I mean, sorry, I jumped on somebody else's storyline. You guys can continue.
No, I was asking you.
I would have to think so. Not necessarily that Palpatine wouldn't have on his own been able to do shit, but the sense of the prophecy is that he's the one who brings balance to the Force. I mean, it's not clear on what balance it is, but without Skywalker, that prophecy wouldn't have come true. I think Palpatine needed the apprentice to, at the very least, embody what he was planning. Not necessarily be successful. I'm pretty sure he could have done a lot of fucked up. I mean, he could very easily have stayed in power and just lived a good life. But I think that Skywalker, as the prophecy goes, and as what Palpatine was trying to plan, is the apprentice was needed. That's pretty much what Darth Maul said, or what Maul said to Ahsoka, is I will deny him his apprentice. So, again, to that question, I think it is the Skywalker Saga as dictated by those around him, because the choices of those around him absolutely dictated the outcome. I mean, Qui-Gon could have fucking left him on Tatooine. Obi-Wan could have not trained him. Right?
Right.
I mean, there's just so many what ifs when it came to Anakin Skywalker.
You're right, but I mean, if Anakin was left on Tatooine, things would have pretty much played out exactly the same, minus, in my opinion, Mace Windu's demise, because Anakin had nothing. Anakin had nothing to do with the Separatists. Anakin had nothing to do with the Clone Wars. Anakin had nothing to do with Order 66. You see, so those are independent. I mean, he was used as an enforcer. He was
absolutely,
but it was just muscle.
Yeah,
I think that the balance
happened. I think
the balance of the Force is what Palpatine was playing off of, as far as being the one and all powerful. And I think that Anakin had to have that rise through the Jedi and then that fall from the Jedi to become a Sith. I don't think without any of that, even if he was killed as a little kid, there wouldn't have been that apprentice. There would have been that.
No, I'm not saying about the apprentice stuff, but I mean, if he didn't become Darth Vader, the Empire still would have existed. The Jedi would have still been purged, is what I'm saying.
Possibly. Yeah. Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
Possible.
he had not possible. I mean, he only killed what the people in the Jedi Temple, a handful of them. All the others were wiped out by the
So
clones.
if that would have happened, then the movie would have ended at episode 3.
Right,
Or like the saga, right?
Right,
But
right.
I'm saying everything that played through as far as the balance of the galaxy was absolutely dependent on Skywalker, dictated by those around him.
Roz, is this really still the Skywalker Saga after all?
I don't give a shit. The Skywalker Saga ended, 3 movies ago. So I don't know what the fuck these 3 movies were.
The Force Awakens was fun.
Dude, I mean, like I said, this is a conversation I could have infinitely.
It was fun.
They besmirched the Skywalker legacy and saga. What were the Skywalkers doing in the last movie?
That's true. I mean,
Skywalker Saga. It's like, fuck you. It's like Palpatine clone saga. I don't know, man. Just
I mean, that's how I looked at it.
Oh, look, deadass. I'm sure it would have been the Skywalker Saga in an excellent way if Rian Johnson hadn't shat all over the second movie and completely obliterated whatever connections they were trying to build up for Rey to the Skywalkers. Whatever they could have been. I don't know. It could have been his neighbor. It could have been Uncle. LaRue's freaking water farmer neighbor's kid. Who cares? But we'll never have that. And it turns out that she was a clone's grandkid, and that's the movie.
I still think it would have been great if I think Flex and I talked about this in a smoothie talk way long back. If they did a cross, Rey was good, and by the end she was bad, and Ben was bad, and by the end he was good, and they had to fight on opposite ends.
Yeah.
And then either Ben had to save her or had to kill her. I thought it would have been great. That would have been a totally different movie set. That's what we thought. We thought
that would have been a Skywalker-ass redemption.
Hell yeah! You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. All right, we're gonna move on to open mic. Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. What am I doing?
You never actually asked me the question.
Yes, I did.
No,
you
you didn't. No, no.
Okay, is it really the Skywalker Saga? Are you the first person I asked?
No, you didn't. You asked JJ.
You asked me first, but then he jumped in on my.
Oh, okay.
On something else that has to do nothing with the question.
Oh, you know what? Yeah. Here's my problem.
I
asked. All right, you guys. I don't know if it's happening to you guys, but my screen, you guys are rotating in succession.
Yeah.
So I guess you were on top. I always ask the person on top, and I think Flex, you were on top at the moment. That's what she said. And it's Garbanzo. So Garbanzo, sorry, is it still the Skywalker Saga after all?
Currently, it doesn't matter.
Hey.
Nobody's ever really gone.
Join my club.
I think that because the
See that deep sigh?
The first six films, the protagonist was a Skywalker, in one form or another, for the most part, up until until episode 3. Episode 3 that he became the antagonist.
It's funny you say that because some people would say there was no real protagonist in the first 3 movies because the story really didn't follow anybody personally. It's funny. I read a little bit about that, but carry on.
Well,
actually, you know what? The closest thing that we had to a protagonist was Obi-Wan, I guess. But then again, he was kind of absentee and sidelined in episode 1. Sorry, carry on.
Well, I mean, there's the whole thing is, technically speaking, if you want to put it down that way, it's technically because the one consistent thing they had between all 3 movies was you had the.
You're right.
No, really not, dude. Like, yes, as the antagonist, and if you want to make an anthology, you want to say it's a saga for the bad guy, then yeah, absolutely, that's what it is. But that's not the way I'm trying to look at it, because it's not like that for me. I honestly, like I said, I think it was the rise and fall. For me, it's the rise and fall of the Skywalker name and the Skywalkers themselves. It's the beginning with Anakin, and then as it starts to fall at the end of the 3, then you have Luke who picks up the reins and then starts to bring the name back up again. And because Luke never had that fall, they bring Ben in to create the fall, and at the end, it was supposed to have some kind of upturn, which got cut off
It's
somewhere in the middle.
kind of just leveled out. Yeah.
Where it's like as they start creating story, someone came inside and goes, "Oh guys, I have a really fun idea. And let's change things around," and then made everything kind of retarded. And let's make funny, great light noises, and that's it.
What if we kill that guy? What's his name? Snooky? We should kill him.
Good. She likes vampires, right?
Just kill him. They cut him in half, and there you go.
You know what? It's like I swear to God, I think the whole time that he was directing this movie, I think he was writing Knives Out.
Yeah. Man, what a good movie Knives Out. Shit.
I never seen.
Now we do.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Okay.
Just to kill the subject we're talking about right now, because God damn, let the Skywalkers die already. Watch Knives Out. End of statement.
So Knives Out and
and I heard Knives Out was absolutely amazing.
See, no. Watch Knives Out. I'm not telling you to watch The Lighthouse because it's a good movie. I'm telling you to watch The Lighthouse because I don't want to be the only one that saw it.
But you said it was a mind fuck, so that's right. So I want to see that.
Yeah. I want you to know. I'm not saying it's Knives Out is a good movie. The Lighthouse, please watch it. I don't want to be alone.
I love it. All right, so Garbanzo, have you? Yes, you done?
Yeah,
good?
No, that's it.
Open mic. All right, so Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Like we said, the Resistance makes their final stand against the First Order. Rey faces her destiny. The final chapter of the Skywalker Saga comes home to Disney Plus today. Check it out. All 3 episodes of the sequel trilogy are now home at Disney Plus. So check that out because I just watched it. I'm gonna watch it again because you turn your brain off and you enjoy it. That's what I do. I turn my brain off and I enjoy it. Moving on, another Star Wars TV series is coming to Disney Plus. This article comes from GameSpot.com. Leslie Headland, primarily known as a co-creator, writer, and showrunner of Netflix's Russian Doll, served as showrunner and writer for the unnamed Star Wars series, according to variety sources. The series will take place in a different timeline than fans have seen before, and will be an all-female-centric show. So, now, I don't give a shit. What I do give a shit about, though, is that this was not an official notice announcement from Disney, and that the scuttlebutt is that this was a power move by Kathleen Kennedy against Bob Iger, and that the two Bobs are fuming at this because she leaked this when in reality there's nothing. There's no scripts. There's no name. There's no nothing going on. It's literally just, hey, we're going to be doing something. What do you guys think about that?
Do it, please. My God.
Republic?
Do what part? Do what? Do the show?
The show, yeah. That creator, she's an insanely good writer. So, my gosh, she is like the polar opposite of a Rian Johnson. So please, yes, give her this. Give her a female-led show where you actually have character progression and character development that isn't just like, hey, we created this character. Her name is Rey. We're going to give her character, development, and then we're going to shit all over it, and it doesn't matter. Nothing really matters for her character. She's just a smiling face, but an empty shell. On the other side of the coin, did you watch Russian Doll?
No, I never heard of it until I started looking up this.
Okay, shit. Russian Doll is Leslie Headland is a crazy writer. Like it is. I agree. Very tightly written show that is a mindfuck, in a good way. Much so. So yes, please give her the show, and I cannot wait to see it. That's the one I'm most actually interested in because I'm really looking forward to see what somebody that has the mind that can come up with Russian Doll produces in the Star Wars universe.
All right, Garbanzo.
I'm all about it. And referencing to the power play thing, hell yeah, Kathleen Kennedy is right now on thin ice.
Carry on. I'm gonna mention something after you're done.
I think she's on thin ice. I think that they're looking at her the same way that they were looking at the some of the other people that have been let go recently.
Right, the creator of Galaxy's Edge.
What the fuck did I tell you?
Listen. Look, if you want to be,
no joke. He said no. He said no Galaxy's Edge talk, and he said no what?
No,
let's not bring it up.
Anakin tangent led by Raz.
I'm not mentioning that motherfucker.
No, it's okay. And my only response is gonna be like this, bro. It's like a virgin talking about how horrible sex is. So do me a favor, when you finally are able to experience it, then you can talk. Till then, there's no point. So it's not like hot apple pie. It's the she was already on hot ice. I mean, on cold ice. Sorry, God, dude, listen to me. You got me talking in freaking twisters. She's already, in hot water over some stuff. So, you know what? Let's see what happens. And but definitely, I think that was definitely a a big old middle finger up to these guys saying.
I watched the behind the scenes special. I did a lot of Star Wars watching before we got it. I wanted to get jacked up. They did the behind the scenes of the Mandalorian, and that was a great episode, by the way. But I'm telling you right now, it was an hour special, and Kathleen Kennedy appeared in like 5 seconds. You saw her face really quick as she was talking, and then she was in a group picture. She was not in any of the. She didn't speak. You didn't see her. She wasn't on set. All you saw was literally 2 seconds of her, and it was like partially revealed behind somebody. You saw her talking to one of the directors, and then it was a group shot of her and all the directors and Jon Favreau, and that was it. She did not appear in this at all. She didn't speak. You didn't see her in it. So I was like, wow. I can see what you guys are doing because she isn't there. But yeah, that's a shame. But me personally, I don't really care about any female-centric different timeline. I wish they didn't throw it out there like that. They just said, a new show is coming, Russian doll people, cool. But you throw in that whole female-centric and it's all new timeline, or I hear alternate reality as well. Some people think that they're going to retell certain stories, but
no, it's probably going to be High Republic.
I think so too.
Yeah, I'm guaranteed.
So why wouldn't they just say the High Republic timeline? Why would you say a different timeline? Period. Just
because most people don't know shit about the High Republic. It's us
true. But they did. They mentioned High Republic. They made a big. That was Project Luminous, and that was a huge thing that they led. But I don't know.
Also, it wasn't announced by Disney anyway. So
that's my point, and that's why
this was a leak. And the reason they're saying female centric is because literally that's a selling point for a huge market. There has not been a female-centric Star Wars, series because this recent trilogy, that was kind of like an empty shell of a character.
But I thought we had discussed this, didn't we? Though that the female-centric things have been failing, though that they haven't. The women have not been.
Female-centric reinventions of existing characters, yes.
Well, no, because Charlie's Angels and that failed. Yeah, the Ghostbusters was reinvented. What else came out that was pro? That was whatever. But I mean, I don't know. I just think that too those kind of things have not whatever. Moving on though, new Star Wars movie to be written and directed by
asshole.
What? I didn't ask you what. Oh, you wouldn't care. I know you wouldn't care.
Actually, no, believe it or not. So typically, you all know me. As soon as I read female-led or female-centric as a selling point, I immediately lose interest. But I agree with Roz with the Russian Doll. I really, really enjoyed Russian Doll. So, I know this isn't a director or a writer that's gonna bullshit and give me some bullshit. So I'm excited for this.
Does anybody care that she was a personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein?
No.
Oh, why? Everybody, half of fucking Hollywood was.
Okay.
So I mean, honestly, I just hope it doesn't turn out like Forces of Destiny, and for the first time, I'm actually interested in something that, even though the selling point does say something like female-led or female-centric, I am interested because I know that the person who's leading this actually has some talent when it comes to writing and directing.
Does anybody care that she went on her Twitter and thousands of
God, I don't care anything outside of Star Wars.
Oh man, Jesus, dude, stop hating chicks.
I'm not hating on her. What I'm saying is that there's a little shade there. But moving on,
there's a lot of shade there. There's a lot of shade everywhere. But you know what? It's like if you want to make a big deal out of it, make a big deal out of it. If not, then so cool.
It's a fucking show. Let it fucking happen. If it sucks, then we complain about it.
I hope it's good. I really hope it's good because I am excited for the High Republic. And honestly, anything, if it wasn't this single person leading it, I probably wouldn't give a shit about it or be.
You want to know something? Actually, I will talk shit about this. You know what? I'm actually disappointed about this being announced because that means I'm not getting Russian Doll season 2.
Yep.
Well, you always got Ryan Johnson to direct it.
You gotta eat a dick.
Moving on. New Star Wars movie to be written and directed by Taika Waititi. Yes. Well, it's official. A new Star Wars movie is on the way. This article comes from yahoo.com/entertainment, and it's said to be directed by Taika Waititi. The announcement came on May 4th, today. At StarWars.com, they carried the reveal. Now, do you understand the difference between this reveal and the female-centric Star Wars reveal? This actually came from StarWars.com, and it was announced officially, and is joining forces with the Academy-nominated Christy Wilson Claims, who penned 1917. So it's unknown what the title's going to be, what it's going to release date, but it's going to be in the scary post Rise of Skywalker world, and it'll navigate, new characters. So it's going to be post Rise of Skywalker. What do you guys think? This is fantastic, I think, personally. Me.
I think we shouldn't talk about Taika Waititi movies or shows until you guys watch What We Do in the Shadows.
That's also really good too. I
watched Thor Ragnarok, and I think I'm pretty good. And I saw his cameo in Green Lantern. So I think
Darth, please back me up on this. Flex, you gotta help me out here. Back me up on this.
Now.
Okay, I'm sorry. We're talking about What We Do in the Dark, right?
Absolutely, it's amazing, and
yes,
they have to see it. I think it's mandatory.
Really enjoy it. It's
okay.
Is that like a?
You give me way too much to watch. I
One,
can't do all of it.
based on the book.
Say it again.
Is it their take on it of the Johnny Depp film?
What?
With Mekhi Phifer, where he's like a vampire and shit, and
Wait, what?
it's
What?
an old movie. You remember that old movie with Johnny Depp, What We Do in the Dark? Him and Mekhi Phifer, he's like a vampire in like some small fishing village thing off of.
No, it has
or
nothing to do
something.
with that.
No, okay.
But no,
I thought-
honestly, I think the Taika Waititi movie is going to be fun. I don't know if he's going to make a scary movie.
hope
Who knows?
so.
He might
Fucking
say,
hope
I don't want to be comedy. Maybe I'm going to make some kind of Star Wars horror flick. Boom, that's my recommendation.
What'd be great? That Stormtrooper zombie one, man. The audiobook
Hey,
was so
now we're
good.
talking.
The
Yes.
audiobook was amazing.
Death Troopers.
Like
Death Troopers is amazing book.
Like the sound effects and everything. I fucking love that book.
Or what about just a Star Wars Marvel Universe crossover? Fuck it. There we go. Done.
Rated R though. Rated R.
NC-17.
Ooh.
I would rather see a Star Wars crossover before then. That'd be fun to see.
All right.
That should be
Directed
fun.
by Quentin Tarantino, of course.
Hell yeah! Oh my god.
Yeah, starring Carrie Fisher. I'm
Executive
sorry, I thought we were
producer-
talking about unrealistic
executive
shit.
Uma
producer-
Thurman, dude.
Right.
Not Carrie Fisher. Uma Thurman.
Executive producers Gene Roddenberry and George Lucas. There you go.
Gene Roddenberry.
That's what I want to see in my life. All right, we're gonna move on to
Better chance of Gina Davis.
that too. The Mandalorian season 2 prediction. We're just gonna real quick throw it out. Any predictions you guys have? There's no article. I just want to talk about it real quick before we wrap up. Garbanzo, predictions for Mandalorian season 2.
It's going to be the search and try to attempt to recover the Darksaber. The whole episode. The whole season. While trying to find the child. A home. They may find Waddle. I don't know. That's about as far as I got.
Boom. Genius.
All right, Garflex.
Honestly, it's really hard to have predictions. One, I hope I don't see Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka, but I think
not gonna
yeah,
happen. My God.
I don't know. I just don't.
I agree. But
But
I don't know.
it's tough to give a prediction of where it's going to go after it's left off. Sure, there's the Darksaber, but I don't think the Darksaber is going to play too much of a huge deal in the second season unless they bring someone like Bo-Katan in or something like that, or maybe Sabine. I don't know.
Katie Sackhoff as Bo-Katan because she actually voices the character. Why not bring her on?
That would
live
be
action
the
like that?
only significance I would see in the Darksaber if they brought someone in like Bo-Katan or like a Sabine or like somebody from Clan Ren or something.
Wait, so you mean more Mandalorians?
Yeah.
You want more Mandalorians than the Mandalorian?
It would be kind of hot to see a female Mandalorian and see her face. And
That's not the way. That's not the way.
Apparently it is.
I wish they explained how they went from taking off their helmets to everybody to not
I think
taking off
it's
their
by
helmets.
clan. I
Okay.
think it's cultural clan by clan.
Okay.
But I think we're gonna still see a Baby Yoda. I don't think they're gonna make him any older,
No, I think it'll be
unless
teenage
it's
Yoda.
it's been a very long time after that.
They're gonna age him up.
50 years later.
They're gonna age
Yeah.
him up like Groot.
And then he just I don't see it happening. He's gonna be same size.
Yeah.
I would really like to see a little bit more of the not the rebellion. I guess the
Resistance.
the resistance. Like
I
that.
don't think they were
little
around
teaser-
at that time. I think.
No,
Were
I mean,
they?
I guess rebellion, whatever it was, or the New Republic. That little.
I would
teaser
love some
seeing
of that.
Fucking Jay Filoni lisp his way in on the X-wing and start shooting at the, that was pretty cool. So that kind of got my pennies up in a bunch. So I wouldn't mind seeing more of that. Like Y-wings and some X-wings and stuff. That'd
Yeah.
be pretty cool.
I would
Definitely
love
would
some of
love to see a lot more dark, kind of dirty bar settings and kind of more like grungy, low life bar fights.
that. You want some more? You want some of that 1313 in your life?
Yeah, man, some of that 1313.
I would love it if they went to level
Nice.
1313 in season 2, just as a deep cut to that video game. Give me some reason why he goes to Coruscant. Give me some reason why he goes to 1313. Just for that, I would appreciate that. That's what I'm hoping for. They won't do it, but
Do you guys think in this timeline, Thrawn is still around?
in the unknown regions, probably.
Mm.
That's gonna be the basis for the next trilogies. Thrawn coming back and trying to bring the Empire back, and that'll be the episodes. Wait, where were we? 9, 10, 11, 12? Yeah. Maybe the Thrawn trilogy, which would be great. Why not? I would love to see that.
Man, but
Bring back
Honestly-
Timothy.
Huh?
Bring back
Dark
Timothy
Saber-
Zahn.
Oh, Jesus, please. Roz, are you done? Flex, sorry.
yeah, I'm done.
Roz, predictions for season 2.
Man, less a prediction, more of a hope. Make the episodes an hour long.
Yes.
Oh, see, now you're asking too much. And I
You
think if they make them an hour long, the show might suck because they might drag things out longer than they have to be.
I guess
I mean-
we had 5 seasons of Breaking Bad with hour-long episodes, and they were great.
Well, yeah, but they weren't very. I would assume I've never seen any of them. I would assume they weren't effects heavy and they weren't like
No,
whatever,
of course.
whatever. Because I'm telling you right
it's just expensive to
Yeah,
make
it's
an
very
hour-long episode. So I agree with Garbanzo, man. Maybe we're gonna see Waddle. Like she kind of dipped after episode 1.
she went into that meditation, that exile meditation, that what was it called? The Shakti? I don't know.
The Shakti meditation station.
She went into the Shakti, and she, where you clear yourself away from the Jedi. You know, with that Jedi that freaking Vader wrecked to his lightsaber. That meditation thing. Who knows?
I'm looking forward to seeing a new rendition of Ahsoka. Maybe a less, not an unpopular opinion I'm going to make here, but a less whiny version of Ahsoka, a more mature, maybe centered version of Ahsoka. And I like Rosario Dawson. I understand people are not happy about Ashley. What is it? Eckstein?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Eckstein
Yeah, actually,
playing herself, but she can't. She's not a fucking actor. So
No,
like,
she's truly not. She's a voice actor. She's a great voice actor.
yeah,
Who's
she's a
But it's not the same.
The
no.
female
Like, she
Yoda.
was like a
I'm
corpse
sorry.
on Law and Order once.
Yaddle.
So
Oh,
I
mean,
don't get me wrong, I
yeah.
get it. I mean, but hey, she's a great designer. She has the whole her universe line and all kind of stuff. I mean,
but
shoot,
here's
I
the
mean,
thing.
wife just bought the new Ahsoka ears today that just came out. I mean, trust me, it was a pain in the ass about it, but those suckers are gorgeous.
I don't know. I'm just saying. I mean, I don't know, man. Rosario Dawson, she's great. She's great. I just don't want her. She hashtag not my Ahsoka. I don't know. I might like her, but the fact is, I'm used to a certain voice. That is the voice of Ahsoka. She is Ahsoka, and Rosario Dawson is not gonna sound like her or have her mannerisms at all. It's just Ahsoka's gonna be. It's gonna be basically. You might as well just have casted her as a totally different character. We'll just say in place. Sorry, carry on. Sorry, Flex. Sorry, what?
Do you know where we're gonna get with her? Is pretty much one of those Puerto Rican sisters playing Ahsoka.
I knew
That's
it.
what
I
we're
knew
gonna
it. I knew you were gonna say that. I knew you were gonna say that. My predictions. The Mandalorian may hopefully he's gonna stumble upon. I think. Sabine. I think Sabine Wren will be in it because I don't see why she wouldn't. Because I would assume that Sabine and Ahsoka were together looking for Ezra, and that's if he's gonna run into Ahsoka, Ahsoka's gonna be with Sabine, still looking for Ezra. I don't see what reason, how they're gonna explain why she's there without Sabine, and unless she's gonna say, oh, I was searching for somebody and I found them and whatever. They're gonna have to explain where this is, because the last time we saw Ahsoka, she came back, and the illusion was she went to go find him. So that's why I don't think it makes any sense. I would think that in this time frame, 5 years after the Battle of Endor, she's in the unknown regions, getting some shit done. So I would hope she's not. Or
Gus killed her.
Or what?
Gus Fring?
Gus killed her.
Who's that?
Gus, Giancarlo Esposito's character.
Oh, yeah. So I do think we're gonna go to Mandalore. I believe we're gonna go to Mandalore. We're gonna go to Mandalore. Something. There's gonna be a reason why we're there, or it's gonna be a flashback. We're gonna go to Mandalore. We're probably gonna see how he got the Darksaber, because that thing has been passing hands forever. I am almost convinced that the reveal that Boba Fett is alive will happen in season 2. He will not be an antagonist. He will not be anything, but he'll be revealed to be alive, and then he will have something to do with season 3. It'll be a rivalry between him and in season 3. I am almost convinced.
God, I hope not.
That you don't want Boba to. In expanded universe, he survived. Like, this is nothing new. He did survive in the expanded universe. You don't want him to. You don't want him to Darth Maul Boba Fett.
No, I don't think he was that cool, man. I think people ascribed a lot of awesome to Boba Fett for no reason. The guy, busted his ass and fell into a pit and died.
But here's my thing. Right. But here's my thing. Darth Maul was a one-dimensional character till given the right medium to thrive. Darth Maul is only as revered as he is now because they brought him back in a different medium and they filled him out. There's a good chance, but slim, that they could do the same thing with Boba Fett. They can bring him back and give us a little more, make him a fleshed out, better character beyond just being a clone of Jango.
I'd say honestly, my real concern with them, if they do bring him back, is they're going through all this trouble building up this new Mandalorian to actually take the place of Boba Fett, to actually be a badass like Boba Fett. He wasn't really. So them bringing back this.
He was a subtle badass.
He was a subtle badass. Yeah, he was a subtle badass who just tripped and fell into a big asshole. Allegedly. So I don't know. I think bringing this guy who has like 40 years of history in is going to minimize the accomplishments of the Mando.
I get what you're saying. You're right, but I think that after you build him up, and he is the reluctant hero that he's going to be at the end of season 2. I don't think there's any better way to threaten that and to question that than to put him up and deconstruct him.
Yeah.
By using Boba Fett, who's not technically a Mandalorian, by the way. He's kind of a faker, in canon. He's not a Mandalorian, apparently. At least that's what they said in the Clone Wars. To deconstruct his character by using somebody else to juxtaposition with him, kind of like a foil. Bam, that's what I was looking for. Use Boba Fett to be his foil for season 3. I don't see any other character that can be a better foil for him and make him question his loyalties and who he is and what he's become, as opposed to who he's supposed to be, than Boba Fett. That's what I think. Thank God we only have 2 links. So that's what I think. Anybody else any predictions for season 2 before we wrap it up? I love it. I love.
I'm good.
Are we excited? I'm excited. I want to see it. Do we know what's coming out? It's coming out this year. Yes? No?
Yeah, October.
That's what I'm talking about.
Has there been an update about that? Because they announced it, before COVID.
But I think they were
said
done. No, they were done shooting.
Yeah, they were post production for the most part.
Yeah, and that can be done at home. It can.
And honestly, it may be postponed a month or 2. But I think because they're planned in October, that they're probably giving up. They gave themselves enough time to go and get it all tested out. But
I'm okay with
it'll be fine.
No, it's gonna come because Disney Plus is dying for some original content.
Disney needs content.
Yeah, they need content desperately, so they might bump it up. To be honest with you, because
that's true. This week we have 3 back-to-back UFC fights to meet Disney's numbers.
Oh snap!
In Jacksonville, Florida.
See?
Yeah.
See? All right. Well, I was gonna move on to the Rise of Skywalker revisited, but we kind of touched on that in the past. And
I think we did.
Yeah, we did. We already touched upon that, so we'll move on. And there's an audio clip. This is why we must celebrate Revenge of the Fifth. I'm not gonna play it here. It's actually gonna be in the beginning of both the audio episode and the video episode, so you guys can just listen to that. It was just a fun thing that who shared that? Somebody shared that here. Garbanzo did, right? No. Yes, Garbanzo did. It was really funny. I liked this 1 minute. So enjoy it. Well, you should have enjoyed that clip because it was already put there. So that's it for Keepin the Geek Bros. May the 4th special. So much for 40 minutes. But before we go on, you can check us out on Instagram and Twitter as GEKBR0S. Geek Bros at yahoo.com, GEKBR0S at yahoo.com. Facebook, same thing, Geek Bros. Weeby Geeks PC. Check us out every Wednesday for the most part. We apologize for last week. And again, watch these kindly, homely faces on YouTube.com/Vibro Studios. Shameless promotion, Jess, before we wrap it up. Garbanzo?
You can catch me on the Twitter and the gram at BEANTKE278. That's Bean TKE278, as well on the YouTubes or Garbanzo's Corner on the Facebooks.
Mr. Flex.
My whole thing is you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Dart_Flex.
Sorry, Ross.
Instagram, Ray Razio. It's my whole thing.
And of course, Vibrev Studios, VIBEREV Studios, that's .com, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, everywhere you want to be. There's plenty of stuff out there. Check it out. And so thank you for tuning in to Keepin the Geek Bros podcast. And remember, geeking out still sounds this good. May the force be with you.
Keeping up with the Geek Bros.